So that is very cool. So Tapas is one of the niyamas, and it's the self-discipline. Essentially, when I talk about self-discipline, I want to think more about focusing on what matters most, so we don't get our attention diverted in ways that are not serving. And it's easy to do when we have our handheld, our phones and social media. Super
Right.
easy to get diverted. So today, just we'll do a practice for cultivating self-discipline.
Beautiful.
Awesome. So I'll go ahead and mute you right now. And if you need to unmute, you certainly can. And for those of you who are on Facebook Live, welcome. Leave a comment for sure. And I will answer those, try to answer those after class when I look in the comment section. So we'll just start seated. If you have a comfortable something to sit on, I've just got a blanket here. I have a couple blocks. If you have a friendly pet nearby, they're welcome as well. It's always fun to have a dog or a cat or a goat. Not really. So we'll start with some movement in the spine. Just really, just to see where you're at. Breathe in, breathe out. How did your day go? Is this your first movement? Have you been running? How are your hips? Just sort of go through the whole body as we're breathing in and opening the arms, breathing out, maybe through the mouth like a straw. Breathing in through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. We'll just make an observation, an assessment. How do you feel? Your shoulders, your head, your torso, the arms, the hips, the legs, the knees. And if there's any area of the body that needs special attention, let's bring our attention and awareness in that area. Plug 2 fingers into the earth, Bu Mudra or BHU, Earth Mudra. It's a pointer finger and middle finger, like peace. Sitting up nice and tall. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, take the arms overhead, directing prana. Exhale, plug back into the earth. Let's do twice more. Inhale. So Prana Mudra is the fingers in more of a cup scout position, directing space and air, ether, air, vayu. Inhale and exhale. When we plug those fingers in, we're plugging into the earth. Let's do that once more. Release the mudra. Plant the right hand to the earth and bring the left arm up and over. So this is really one of the ways I like to start class, is assessing the spine, moving it in all directions. You know, maybe there's one side that's a little easier to move there. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale over to your left. We can get long in the side body. Purposeful in our actions, focusing on what matters most. Inhale back to center. Let's bring both arms up. And exhale, take a twist. So rotate through the torso. Gently place the hand on the knee, not to orchestrate a wrenching or a large twist, but a gentle twist. Keep the twist, bring just the head back, the eyes leading. Inhale, eyes leading, the head turns back. Exhale, eyes lead. Inhale forward. Exhale, eyes move first. leading the head to the back. Inhale, bring the whole torso back to center. So we unwind, arms come overhead, gentle twist to the left. Plant the left hand behind. We take that whole wind and look back behind the shoulder. Inhale, take your gaze forward, leading with the eyes. Exhale, gaze back. And head turns. Inhale, bring the head forward. Exhale, and bring the head back. Unwind the whole torso as we come back to center. Arms overhead once again. Interlace the fingers. Let's press the palms above the head. Squeeze the biceps to your ears. Charge the heart upward. And give a little shimmy side to side, like we're lifting up out of the pelvic floor, which we are. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And gently bring another breath in. And then bring the hands back to the knees, exhaling. Circumduction in one direction. Take this pretty wide circle. If that feels pretty good. Now shorten the circle. Only the torso moves. Going the same direction. The head stays steady. So it's as if the movements from your clavicle to your belly, much like a belly dancer would move in some form. And let's speed it up. 10, 9, 8, small, quick circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You start to really ignite power in the solar plexus. This is where the heat rises. Tapas is a heat. It's also an appetizer, but we're not talking about tapas as in what you go and get at a restaurant as an appetizer or a small meal. What we're really talking about is the fiery heat of self-discipline that moves us towards our dreams and aspirations. And this is the area where our will to move forward is actually cultivated. So we want to wake that up. And we're going to take circumduction in the opposite direction. Ease into the hips, the side body. Keep the head very still and only move the midsection. Same pace. A lot more action or activity in the ribs, intercostal muscles, the muscles of the ribs, the belly. And we'll speed it up even more. Take it 10 times fast. 9, 8, 7, 6, stay steady with the breath. 4, 3, 2, and 1, regular breath. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, a little rounding. It's very similar to a cat-cow. But we are seated. Inhale one more time. Keep that extension through the spine. Exhale, just come to neutral with the chin even, or the back of the head even with the spine. The chin is just neutral. Bring the arms overhead. We'll take Bhastrika 12 breaths in a set of 3. So 12 reps, sets of 3. The inhale, the arms come up. The exhale, the elbows come down to your side. We're going to make a fist and ha, the air out. Expelling the air out with a ha. So here we go, 12 times. It's pretty quick. Through the nose, ha, begin. Ha, 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 ha. 4 more. Ha, ha. 2 more. Ha. Last one. Ha. Bring the arms up. Hook the thumbs. Reach up and take a full breath in. At the top of the breath, hold the breath, draw the navel to the spine. In a Mula Bandha, pelvic floor lift, Mula Bandha, navel to the spine, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhar with the chin. And then exhale, release, and bring your hands to your heart twice more. We'll take a regular breath in between and begin. Ha, 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 ha. 4 more. Ha, ha, ha. Last one. Ha. Arms up, hook the thumbs, breathe in. Hold the breath. All the bandhas. Press that energy up through the spine, out through the crown of the head, like a well spout. And then exhale, release and bring the hands to your heart center. So while we're holding the breath, it's a pelvic floor lift. That's called Mula Bandha. Uddiyana Bandha, you're firming the belly. And again, you're just imagining the movement of the energy traveling up the spine. Even if you don't feel it, move it. And out through the spout or the crown of the head. So here we go. 3rd time and begin. Inhale, exhale. Ha, 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 ha. 4 more. Ha, 3, ha, 2, ha. Last one. Ha. Inhale and bring the thumbs together. Hold the breath in at the top. All the bandhas. Keep holding, keep holding. And exhale. Hands to the heart. Take a shoulder roll. It's almost 20 seconds working up towards that. Let's bring the legs behind. You come onto your hands and knees. We'll take a regular cat-cow here. Inhale, sending the heart, chest forward. Exhale, movement through the tailbone. We're going to initiate the movement at the pelvic floor level, the hips tilting back, and then the hips tilting forward. All right, posterior, anterior tilt of the hip. One more time. And as you tilt back, let's take the hips back as well to the heels, and then bring it forward again. Heart lifting, exhale, tilt, and press back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward and hold. You take the right leg, the toes to the floor, and just stretch it all the way behind you. You might need to create a little more space so the shoulders are not in front of the wrist, they're behind the wrist. I'm going to press through the heel and then press through the toe. Press through the heel, press through the toe. That gives us a pulsation action. Inhaling and exhaling back, inhaling forward. One more time. Sweep the right leg around like a clock. So we're going to 3 o'clock. Plant the foot to the earth and press the hips back. And then bring it forward. Again, take the hips back. Inhale, forward, exhale, back. So we'll get a little more energy and opening and sensation in the inner thigh. No. Cat needs some love. Sweep the leg back to the edge of your mat. Spin the heel to the floor. I'm moving the feet in tandem. So my left foot is kickstanding. My right heel is coming down. Press into the mat and stack shoulder on shoulder, hip on hip. So we're in a side plank, modified of course. So it's not putting a lot of pressure on the arm yet. Reach the right arm over, bend the elbow, take the hand behind the head, and press the head back. You enjoy a full extension through the side body. Notice any area of the body that's not cooperating, I guess. So we might be relaxed in the belly, draw it in. Extend the arm back overhead and up to the sky in a vertical position as the leg comes to horizontal. So the right leg lifts, right arm, and then we'll extend them back to the floor and forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale to the floor and forward. And one more time here. And on the next one, hold it. Bend the knee, clasp the hand behind the foot, top of the foot. Press the foot into the hand. My elbow's not drawing the heel in, it's actually straightening and the foot's pressing against the hand. So I get a full opening in the shoulder area, across the clavicle. Full breath in. If you feel your ribs really headlighting forward, pull them in just a little bit. So your low back is more safe. Let's extend the leg. The arm comes back all the way to the floor, squaring the hips and shoulders. Take a three-legged down dog. So while the right leg is still straight, lift it to the sky and circle the ankle. Let's take it in both directions. Maybe 3 spins, 3 or 4 spins. And when you're ready, take the right leg all the way forward to a low lunge. This is an opportunity to bring some blocks in, if you'd like. We'll take it into a pyramid, straightening the front leg, and then bend the front knee back into a lunge. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, the front leg is bent, the back leg super strong. Again, inhale. Now we're going to speed it up 10 times. So it's an inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Through the nose, exhale through the mouth. 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step back, downward facing dog. Oh yeah. Heels pressing down, shoulders open. Plug the fingertips into the floor and then take a forward motion into a high plank and then back into a downward facing dog. Twice more, glide forward into a plank, back into downward dog. I know we're feeling awkward because one side is worked and the other one is not. We'll do a vinyasa here and then we'll do the other side. So chaturanga. Inhale into a low cobra. Just keep it low. Exhale. Hands and knees, toes turn under. Downward facing dog. And then gently bring just the right knee to the floor. The left leg remains straight. We're going to press through the heel. Exhale. Inhale, press through the ball of the foot. Exhale, press through the heel. Inhale, and in this way we pulse the body forward and back. And then we'll take the leg from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. So to your left, out to the side, plant the foot, press the hips all the way back to your heel. Inhale forward. Exhale, press back. Inhale forward. Exhale, press back. Again. The more you press into that left foot, the more sensation you feel in the inner thigh. I just love that. And come back to 6 o'clock with the foot. Spin your left heel, your right foot, and come into side plank now. On the opposite side. A little check in. Notice where your shoulder is in alignment with your wrist. It's behind. So if you're here, that's less than 90 degrees. Make that a 90-degree angle right here at the armpit. Okay, more safe. And then we'll open. Take the left arm and sweep it over the head, bicep to the ear, bend the elbow, press the head back into the hand, tighten the belly. And just really root down to the left foot. Again, firm the belly. Breathe. Release. Left arm comes up, straight, vertical, left leg horizontally. Exhale, return to the floor and reach overhead. Inhale, lift the leg. The arm comes vertical. Exhale, lower. Twice more. Inhale, lift. Hip height. Exhale, lower. Last one and hold. Bend the knee. Clasp the top of the foot. I'm in an overhand grip. Then I'm going to press the foot into the hand. Hug the shoulder blades towards the midline of the spine. So they're not hunching or rounding. Your shoulders need to come with you. Clavicle opening. And fully breathe. Express the breath all the way into the ribs, down into the belly. One more. And then release. The leg comes back to the earth, square the shoulders, the hand, and come into a three-legged down dog. You'll raise the left leg, rotate through the ankle. We should feel a little more open on this side. We've already worked the right leg, and so this might seem a little easier. At least it does for me, coming the second side. Step all the way through to a low lunge. And we'll lower the hips on an exhale. Inhale, raise the hips. So we're coming into a pyramid somewhat. Exhale, lower. You could do this one-handed, give yourself more space. Or you could do this with both hands on the thigh. So you're more upright, or hands on blocks. Super helpful. And we'll speed it up. Inhale, exhale through the mouth. Inhale, exhale. 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step back, downward facing dog. Lug the heels towards the floor and the hands stay steady. Full breath in, full breath out, and we're equal on the sides, both sides of the body. Inhale, come into a high plank. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. We're going to work a chaturanga here. So you come forward. Back on the third one, coming forward. Pause here in a plank. Soften, or I say soften the heart, but it's really broaden the shoulders, broaden the clavicle, and then lift strongly with the belly. So we get more of a flat, even tone in the back side of the back. And bring the knees to the floor. Pull your hands back as you bend the elbows and lower down 1, 2, maybe 3 inches, or possibly to 90. And then press back up and take the hips back to the heels. So this is a chaturanga challenge. We'll do that 5 times. Coming forward again. Knees stay on the ground. You'll pull the hands back isometrically. Bend the elbows. Make sure they're not flaring out, but they're right at the side. The head's even with the spine. Exhale. Press back up and take a child's pose. Inhale, coming forward. Now, if your wrists are already at risk here, just want you to take a break. Exhale back. I think is that 3? I don't remember if it's 3 or 4. Let's do 2 more. Lower, broad shoulder. Now let your shoulders roll forward. That's the hard part. Last one, coming forward. If you want to take it off the knees, or an extra challenge, and then press back up. Take it all the way back into a child's pose. Bend the elbows, take the hands, and let's rotate the wrists. Or even take the wrist down the backside of the neck. Breathe in child's pose. One more. And then inhale, let's come to a kneeling position. So you just walk your hands back up, and we're in Vajrasana, so we end up sitting on the heels essentially. We'll take the hands and interlace the knuckles, so not right at the crease of the palm, but knuckle base. Thumbs are extended, and place the hands on the heart. Vajra Pradama, this is the mudra for unshakable trust. And our discipline or self-discipline is the promises that we make to ourselves towards our goals and aspirations. When we meet those, we cultivate self-confidence, trust relationship with ourselves, and trustworthiness, which gives us more self-confidence. So think what is you have on your plate this week, today, something that you've promised yourself you'll do. Imagine it done, and that feeling that comes and infuses this idea of self-confidence, right? What that feels like. What action step would you need to take in order to meet your dreams or take a step towards the thing that you are working on at present? So growth always has equal measure of resistance, and it's uncomfortable. So if there's something that's uncomfortable for you to do, coming into this mudra and taking a moment to meditate on self-trust, unshakable trust mudra. Shake the hands out. Let's bring the hands back to the earth, toes turn under, a downward facing dog. Step the feet to your hand. Inhale, raise the torso halfway. Exhale, drop in and down. Inhale, come all the way to standing. Root to rise. Palms together and hands to the heart center. Shoulder roll, forward, up, back, and down. And then we'll take the arms overhead. Hook the thumbs, really reach through the side body. And then clasp the left wrist with the right hand. Gently coax the whole body to the side flexion. One more breath. Exhale, go a little bit deeper. Inhale, use your oblique to lift back to center. Switch the grip. The left hand around the right wrist, and we'll gently come up and over. Big breath in. Plant the feet strong. Exhale, go a little bit deeper. Inhale, come back to center. Hook the thumbs, so I'm here. And then reach the palms towards the sky, looking up. We're in a back bend. If I'm from the side here, the arch is coming into the upper thoracic. Full extension. Exhale, release the thumbs, take it in a forward bow. Bend the knees all the way to the floor. Inhale to an extension or half lift. Exhale, drop in and down with a forward fold. Inhale, half lift once again. This time, step the feet all the way back, right and left into a downward facing dog. We'll take a regular vinyasa, coming forward, chaturanga. This time into a low cobra. And back into a downward facing dog. Raise the right leg to the sky. Bend the knee, opening the hip here. This time we'll take a three-legged down dog with a scorpion modification to it. And then step the leg all the way through, top of the mat. Plant the left hand to the floor and reach the right arm to the side. So we're coming now into a twisting low lunge. I'm facing the right, my right knee is forward. I'm opening towards the knee that's bent. Sweep the arm to the back wall, down to the floor. Inhale, forward, up to the sky, big mandala. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, forward and up. Now one more time. As we come through, we're going to slide the front leg back, pivot on the side of the back foot, and we're in side plank. I don't know if you caught that, but we're now supporting 3 tripod side plank here. So my right leg's forward, pushing down into the earth, the hips lifted, and pressing through the blade of the back foot. Make sure you're not on the ankle. This is quite common to sickle the foot and be on the ankle. It doesn't give you power. It overstretches the hip. So press through the outer edge, reach up and over, and then we'll lower the hips, but keep that blade firm. Okay, so the foot's really supporting. Then you're pushing through the side of the foot to lift the hips. Arm comes up, twice more. Inhale. A lot of arm strengthening in this. Tapas, heat, self-discipline, yes. Exhale, bring the right hand to the floor, step all the way back, downward facing dog. Inhale to the top of a push-up. Exhale, knees to the floor and lower down chaturanga. Inhale into low cobra. And exhale back into downward facing dog. I'll take the left leg this time. Comes up to the sky, bend the knee, and then the knee elevates. Right knee still facing the floor, and the shoulder of the right arm even with the left, so you get really stable. My arms are pillars, belly's hugging in, no collapse on the side body, and then step through low lunge. Sometimes moving slow is harder than moving fast. I think most of the time it is. Right hand plants. Now we'll open to the left side wall. Reach towards the back wall. We're going to make a mandala. Mandala is just a big circle. Inhale forward, up to the sky. Exhale, bring it back, down to the floor. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, back and down. This time as you bring the arm up, slide the front leg to the middle of the mat and then spin the torso so you're stacking shoulder on shoulder. I'm in side plank again. On the side of the blade of the foot, inhale, reach up and over. Exhale, lower the hip. Don't touch the ankle. Okay, that's the hard part. Inhale, up, exhale. Make sure you're not rolling onto the ankle. We stay on the blade of the foot. Inhale one more time. Exhale. Again, I want to maintain a 90-degree angle here at the armpit. Both hands to the floor. Step all the way back. Downward facing dog. Inhale to a high plank. Bring the knees to the floor and lower down to the earth. We're going to release that. Lift the hands. Shake out the wrists. Make a fist and release. A fist and release. And bring the hands all the way to the earth at your side. like a jet airplane. So the palms are down. Inhale, lift the head, neck, and shoulders. The shoulder blades coming, squeezing onto the back. Raise the palms off the earth a couple of inches here, and your gaze stays forward. So try not to look at anything that's taller than the height of your nose, so you're not creaking the neck. Just looking forward. Raise the legs. We're in full locust. Squeeze the ankles so they're touching, and then separate 2 or 3 inches. So if your legs are way out here, that's a lot of space. You got to bring them in, and then note where they are, 2 inches apart. Hold one more breath, and then exhale, release. Shake the hips side to side. Inhale, raise just the legs. Exhale, hold. Squeezing the thighs, keep the legs elevated. Bring your arms straight out to the side, and then bend the elbows. So now we're in a goalpost. Raise the head, neck, and shoulders. Elbows raise off the ground. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Keep the legs elevated, and exhale, lower only the upper torso. Inhale, lift upper torso. Legs stay elevated. Exhale, lower. We got 2 more of these. Inhale, I know, right? Squeeze the inner thighs. Keep the legs elevated. Exhale, lower. Oh, I got your back. We got to be working it. Inhale, lift. Hold. Exhale, lower the whole thing back down to the floor. Releasing the hips. Shake side to side. Stay on your belly. I want to do that one more time, because I know there's we tend to be pretty lenient with ourselves and building strength in the back. The whole posterior chain is engaged in this scenario. So forehead to the mat, arms in goalpost. Exhale all the air out, draw the navel in. So you'll have some length in the low back, and then inhale, raise the feet. Exhale, hold. Inhale, raise the torso. Arms above the earth. Exhale, lower just the torso. 3 more. Inhale, raise the torso. Legs are already raised. Exhale, just the torso comes down. Inhale again, lift the torso. Legs are elevated. Exhale, only the torso comes down. 4th time. Inhale, lift. They're both holding to the highest point they can. The whole posterior chain is extending, and then exhale. Right, and release the whole thing back down to the floor. We're building strength and support in our goals and aspirations. Self-discipline is also knowing when to ask others for support. Our back body is that area of community. Who can we rely on to help us with our goals, right? And you can ask that question, what's the inquiry? Who can I ask for help? So from here, still on the belly, bend your right knee, clasp the top of the foot, draw the heel in towards the glute. You're going to bring your left forearm underneath the forehead so it can rest gently. Keep the top of the knee pressing into the floor, and then tuck the tailbone until you feel an increased sensation in the quad. So the front of the thigh should be really opening. The more you draw the heel to the glute, and if it's touching, you may need a little more opening. So you could take the chest up. This is an option. I'm supporting my torso with the left arm underneath me versus under the forehead. Now, one more breath. The quadricep could easily spend a couple minutes really just opening it up and then go ahead and release. We'll switch to the other side. So your right elbow or forearm on the ground, the forehead, bend your left knee, anchor the top of the knee down as you draw the heel to the glute. And then hug the inner thighs, drop the tailbone towards the earth or back wall. And again, draw the heel into the glute. I love this stretch. Prop the torso up if you need that extra potential coming out of the quad. There's still a little more opening to be gained. 2 more breaths here. I hope that's really opening for you, as it is for me. My favorite, 1 more breath. And then you'll gently release the leg to the earth. Shake the hips side to side. We'll take 2 bow pulling postures. You can begin that now if you already know that posture. I'm going to show you some variations. We'll start with the forehead on the floor, bending the knees. Drop the tailbone into the mat, or the pubic bone into the floor, tailbone towards the back wall, hug the knees, and then reach around and clasp the top of the feet. So if both feet are easily reachable, then you'll take a full bow. If it's a struggle, take 1 foot and then bring the opposite arm and leg out, press the foot into the hand. You leave the hand that's stretched out, left arm and left leg, anchoring to the mat, or you could raise them up. So we're in a half bow. I'm going to show the half bow option. 5 breaths. We're going to do this twice. So you get to switch sides. 1 more breath. And those of you who have clasped both feet, you're just holding both feet and then gently release. Okay, so on the second one, if you're holding the feet, I'm going to flex the feet and hold the ankles. You're going to go a little lower. And then you'll press the legs straight back, get more lift in the torso. For those of you who are going to the second side, and even this out, right arm is stretched out, right leg, press the foot into the hand. So it's not just here. There's an element of a tug of war, I want to say resistance. The foot really has to push into the hand to elevate the torso. So it takes effort, just like anything we want to focus on in life, get us to our goal. It takes effort, discipline. Tapas, the will to move. That's already 4 breaths. 1 more if you're holding the ankles. Keep it high. And then exhale, release. Draw the heels in, a little extra stretch. And then release all the way to the floor. Shake the hips and press up. And back. We'll take on a Hatasana or an Hatasana, I don't know, heart melt. The hips are over the knees, the forehead comes to the floor, arms extended to the top of your mat, lengthening the side body. You really just allow the back to release, lower. Breathe in and breathe out. Take the hips back to the heels in child's pose. The hands walking you back as well. If you want a little more space there, the knees could be a little wider. Let the torso drop through to the mat, forehead on the mat again. Two more breaths. This is a great posture to practice the breathing into the back body, the kidney area, and really enlivening the whole backside. Should feel yummy. So we're going to come to the floor and do a little more floor work today, skipping more of the standing postures, which I will incorporate tomorrow morning at 9:15 if you want to join me in that class. So take the legs through to a seated position. Draw the knees into a bend. We're going to create a little W and the back completing that W, sort of a W, M, I don't know. Inhale, draw the navel to the spine and lift the torso. And we'll pump the belly 54 times. So it's a, or through the mouth. So you can see the belly is pumping on us like a fire breath or Kapalabhati, but we're in a situation where we're actually holding ourselves up. If you want to make this a little more challenging, your arms could be at the side or possibly at the ground. So here we go. Inhale and begin. 10. 20. I'm exhaling through the nose. That's my preference. 30. Take it at your own pace. 40. 50. 4, 3, 2, 1. So all the air out. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Walk your feet in and wrap the elbow around the knees. Inhale again. Extend through the spine. Then exhale, draw the belly away from the thigh. We'll make a C shape through curving the spine. Drop the forehead to the knees and rest. Possibly forehead on the knees. Possibly forehead on maybe a block, or if you have something that you could rest the forehead on. Fists might work as well. Two more breaths. One more. And release. Let's take this down. All the way on. For pelvic tilts. So this is where the hip, if you palpate the hip bone here, is going to lift up. So the lower back has some space between you and the mat. And then you're going to press that hip back down so there's no space between your low back and the mat. And this is an inhale as we rock the hip forward, and an exhale as we rock the hip back. Inhale, there's a release in the belly, and then exhale, the navel draws to the spine. Inhale, releasing. Exhale, rock, navel to the spine. Let's do that again. Inhale and exhale. And if you've been doing this with me, you'll know on the inhale, I like to press the thighs forward. On the exhale, release the pressure. It just adds a little release in the low back. A lot of back bends. So you want to really make sure the low back is nice and freed up from all of that. Come to a neutral spine, hands at your sides. Inhale, lift the hips. Roll the shoulder blades underneath you. So we're in bridge, feet directly under the knees. Head is gaze straight up to the ceiling. Possibility of just taking a deep breath here, lifting the chest towards the chin. With the shoulders anchored, you're going to bring the arms overhead. So just lifting straight up over. Once they reach overhead, grab an invisible tricky bar, the kind that you used to hang on when you were a kid. You grab the tricky bar and then let your feet like dangle and try to make yourself longer. So we're going to make ourselves longer by pulling the hips towards the heels. You hold the tricky bar, the arms are in place, and you lower the hips back down to the floor. Once they touch, release the tricky bar overhead and bring the hands all the way to the earth. Immediately lift the hips, inhale. Bring the arms overhead, hold the tricky bar, and exhale. Gravitational pull, you're creating it. Lengthen the side body, hips to the floor, and then release the tricky bar and lower the arms back down as they press into the floor. Lift up through the hips. Inhale the arms overhead. Hold the tricky bar. Exhale, only the hips come down. Release the tricky bar and then release the arms all the way down. One more time. Inhale, the hips lift. Arms overhead. Exhale, lower down. Release the tricky bar and come to the earth. Bring the knees into the chest. Give it a little hug. We'll finish out with the sequence, the floor sequence I've been doing. We'll probably stick with it most of the month so we can really start to see and appreciate where this effort is actually taking us. So we're focusing on a particular sequence and seeing the effectiveness. So draw the right knee into the chest. We'll see what progress we make. The left leg remains anchored through the calf and through the thigh, pressing down. With that anchor, extend your right leg to the sky and hold the hamstring, press forward. With the leg, release the hamstring and move the hands to a different part of the back of the leg. Press again, the leg into the hands. And release. If you'd like, move the hand to the calf and press again. Release that resistance. Draw the shin towards the forehead towards the shin. And if you'd like, the bottom leg, if it's really lifting up, it might be helpful just to bend the knee and place the foot on the floor. That gives you a little more room. Or you can extend it all the way down. Release the torso and take your right leg out to the side at a diagonal. So I'm reaching the toes towards my ear, and the heel is reaching towards the corner of the room. Remember this bottom leg, if it's bent, it gives you more space, more openness. If you have really tight hamstrings, I don't want your bottom leg straight. And if you've got a lot of flexibility, go ahead and straighten the leg. Let's bend your right knee across the ankle. You want to do what's actually beneficial for you. Let's thread your arm through that triangle and draw the knee up towards the shoulder. And now we are making a figure four, a nice hip opener. Release your left foot and walk it just slightly to the right side of your mat so you can drop the knees over to the left and release the low back. Full breath in, full breath out. With your right arm extended on the floor, the shoulder on the mat, you're going to take it from a 3 o'clock down to a 6. I guess that would be, or 12. 3 o'clock to 12 o'clock. Clasp the foot if it meets. So your hand may meet the foot, might not. Like, don't force it. And then stretch your top leg out. And I have a wall I can push against. I really like that. The effort, if you don't have a wall to push against, imagine a wall you're pressing that straight leg into. We call that the great Hanuman leap, the great monkey. Hanuman is the monkey, and he leaps to the sun. And he gobbles it up because he thinks that it is a mango. That's one of the mythological stories in yoga or tantric philosophy. Let's release that, bring the knees back into the chest. And they're fun stories that teach us lessons. Let's extend your right leg, sort of like a parable. Right leg to the floor, left knee comes in, and we softly coax it towards your shoulder. And everybody can certainly straighten the base leg, even if your knee's right here. You know, if it's straight up to the sky, you're holding the knee, base leg is straight, and we're really opening the hip flexor as that thigh bone presses down. Extend the left leg to the sky. And this is where we might change it up. You might be bending the straight leg, the base leg. Move the hands to a different part of the hamstring, push forward. Move the hands to the calf, push forward again with the leg. And release the effort, the shin towards the forehead. Wherever it stops, then meet the forehead to the shin by pressing into the belly. Keep the base leg strong, whether it's straight or bent. Full breath here. And release the torso. Take your left leg out at a diagonal. So the toe still facing the ear, it's still trying to come up to the ear. The heel's pressing at the corner edge of the room. And the right leg may be bent with the foot on the ground. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Relax the jaw. So if you find yourself clenching, let's relax the jaw. Bring your left knee in. We're going to cross the ankle over the right thigh. Pull the knee towards you and reach through the triangle to the back of the hamstring, gently stretching the hip open a little more. Keep the feet active. And breathe. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Keep the jaw relaxed. Breath is steady. Release the right foot to the floor, slightly to your left hip. Drop the knees over and extend your left arm out. So we're doing a little twist to the right. This is a progression. You can just stay right here. Make sure the foot's flat on the floor. If it's not, keep coaxing it there or bring a block underneath. There's no need to go any deeper. So if you are feeling confident, comfortable here, then I'm just going to show you. You can bring the arm again from, would that be 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock. Clasp the top of the foot. So my left hand is grabbing the right foot, and my right hand is supporting the left leg. We're doing a big half leap here, half split. And that just opens the IT band a little more. One more breath. And we'll bring it in. We'll take it all the way back to center. Release the low back. Happy baby. Realign the spine. It's a great way to do that. Push the hands into the feet. Knees wide, feet together, and extend the feet up to the sky. Making a diamond shape. And then release the feet. Take the heels all the way to the corners of the mat. Let your arms come and rest at your side, palms open, or towards the sky. Take a full breath in, exhale with a sigh. Release the whole torso into the floor. Relax. Feel yourself supported by the mat, supported by the earth in Shavasana, the sweet simplicity of just allowing ourselves to be supported. Integration pose or peaceful pose. This is where all the work that you did during class is met by a full integration, because we're releasing ourselves from the burden of holding it up. It's that point in time where we work hard, and then at the end of a big project, we get to pause and say, look at the outcome. This is the feel the effectiveness. And then take a deep breath into the belly, stretch the arms overhead, start to move the fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Roll to one side. So your knees draw up, the arms give yourself a little wrap around and a hug. Acknowledge yourself in some way. You could even begin with the words, I am so grateful for the way I fill in the blank. I'm so grateful for my arms that held me up today, the strength I'm building, honoring my progression, honoring my body and where it needs. And help yourself to seated. Bring the hands again together in Vajra Pranama at the heart center, thumbs extended, breath in. Unshakable trust mudra. Then palms together in Anjali mudra. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Every step or progression we take, moving us in the right direction, that is Tapas, self-discipline, keeping our focus on what matters most. May we follow through this week, this day, in that energy. Thank you so much. Namaste. Okay, thank you, Facebook.